The internet just witnessed the kind of meltdown that makes the Kardashians look like they meditate for a living. Chrisean Rock, the queen of chaos, the empress of entertainment, the one-woman reality show, just got publicly humiliated in a live showdown so wild, it made Zeus Network look like Sunday school. Lemmy Plummer, the Zeus CEO with the grin of a Bond villain, and Hood Trophy Bino, the calm before every storm, teamed up on Chrisean like it was Judgment Day with Wi-Fi. This wasn't a clapback. This was a digital execution. One live, two men. One Chrisean screaming into her camera while the entire internet pulled out their popcorn. Lemmy brought receipts, Bino brought sarcasm, and Twitter brought the memes. It was a tag team takedown that had people saying, "Is this real life or a deleted scene from Baddies Armageddon?" Phones were overheating, comments were exploding, and fans were gasping like they'd just watched a reality star go down in 4K. And the craziest part? Nobody saw it coming. Because what went down in that chaotic live stream wasn't just entertainment, it was internet history being written in caps lock. Welcome to Celeb Aura, where reputations don't fade, they burn. It all started with one notification that turned social media into a circus. Lemuel Plummer, the Zeus Network mastermind who practically lives in the eye of the storm, decided to go live. The caption? Clearing the air once and for all. Those 7 words alone were enough to send the internet into cardiac arrest. Within minutes, thousands of people joined. But when the screen loaded and viewers realized Hood Trophy Bino was sitting next to him, grinning like he already knew what was about to go down, everyone knew this wasn't going to be your average live. This was about to be a televised takedown. Minus the TV, the chat was instantly on fire. What's going on? Is this about Chrisean? Not again. Lemmy sat there calm, cool, and corporate, like a CEO who just found a new way to trend. Bino was sipping his drink like it was his own talk show. Then Lemmy leaned in and said the 7 most dangerous words in entertainment history. Y'all want to know the real story? Boom, that was it. The internet collectively lost its breath. Without another warning, Lemmy hit play on a clip that instantly froze every viewer's jaw. It was a behind-the-scenes recording. Shaky camera, muffled sound, but the voice was unmistakable. Chrisean Rock, loud, angry, unfiltered. "Y'all need me?" she shouted in the footage. "I am the show." The audio alone could have registered on the Richter scale. Lemmy paused the video halfway through, looked into the camera, and said, "This is what we deal with behind the scenes." The chat erupted. "No way that's real. Lemmy did not just leak that. Chris Solomon vibes." Even Bino couldn't hold back a smirk. He leaned closer, shaking his head, and said, "Man, that's the same girl who swore she was misunderstood." The internet lost it. Memes were being born in real time, but Lemmy wasn't done. He started calmly explaining how things spiraled behind closed doors. "People always say we exploit talent," he said, adjusting his watch like he was about to drop a TED Talk. But what happens when the talent exploits the platform? What happens when they think breaking cameras and yelling at producers equals ratings? That's not passion. That's poison. The chat exploded again. "Say it louder for the back row. He talking about Chrisean." It felt like a courtroom where everyone already knew the verdict. And just when you thought it couldn't get messier, Bino decided to take it to another level. "Look," he said, grinning. "I tried to stay cool, but she stay playing victim. She be online talking like she a saint, but behind the scenes, she different." Then he leaned forward, added that final sprinkle of shade, and said, "Y'all saw the good girl. We saw the hurricane." The quote hit the internet like a missile. Within minutes, but a "we saw the hurricane" was trending on Twitter. Comment sections everywhere turned into war zones. Half the people screamed, "Team Chrisean forever," while the other half typed, "Bino just exposed the whole truth." Meanwhile, Lemmy sat there like a villain enjoying the chaos he created. "We gave her everything," he said, shaking his head in mock disbelief. "A platform, money, fame, and how does she repay us? By throwing tantrums and threatening producers on live." Then came the line that would be replayed 1,000 times in memes, remixes, and reaction videos. She cried for sympathy, but she cashed the check. Fans went berserk. He said what? "Lemuel Plummer got no mercy. Zeus needs an Emmy for this." Twitter instantly turned into a live comment section for the chaos. Someone even tweeted, "Lemmy talking like he narrating The Last Dance Chrisean edition." But the true moment of destruction came when Bino pulled out his own phone. "Since we sharing," he said casually, "let me show y'all this." The screen flashed, showing screenshots of text messages allegedly between him and Chrisean. "Look, she mad because I stopped pulling up," he said, laughing. The messages were blurry, maybe even questionable, but the internet didn't care. The moment the word screenshots appeared, the crowd went feral. Bino got receipts? Nah, he ain't playing. Someone call Chrisean now. In real time, the live count doubled. Every gossip page on the internet started clipping it. Hollywood Unlocked, The Shade Room, and even TikTok gossipers jumped in with captions like, "Lemmy and Bino drag Chrisean on live, it's a mess." But the best part? Chrisean had no idea yet. She wasn't online. She hadn't responded. It was like the entire internet was holding its breath, waiting for the inevitable explosion. Lemmy knew it too. He smirked and said, "She gonna see this soon, don't worry." She always watching, and he was right. Because halfway through the live, one comment appeared that sent chills through the audience. Chrisean just joined. The reaction was instant. "She in here? Oh, it's about to get real. Someone screen record everything?" Bino's grin faded. Lemmy straightened his back. The entire energy shifted. It was like watching a shark swim into a crowded pool. For a moment, nothing happened. The chat flooded with emojis. Then, out of nowhere, Chrisean started commenting. "Y'all lame," she wrote. "Y'all need me for views." Lemmy laughed, actually laughed, and said, "There she go, right on time." The internet erupted into absolute chaos. People started typing so fast it crashed the chat. "This is wild." Lemmy laughing like a villain. "Bino looking nervous." Chrisean fired off another comment. "Y'all fake. God don't like ugly." Lemmy tilted his head and said, "Well, he must be real disappointed right now." That line broke the internet. Within 5 minutes, over 200,000 people were watching. Bino was grinning ear to ear. Chrisean was fuming in the comments. And every fan, every hater, every gossip blogger was screen recording every second like their life depended on it. It wasn't just a feud anymore, it was history. The Zeus Network drama had officially left the building and gone global. And just when people thought the chaos was over, Lemmy looked into the camera, leaned back, and said, "Y'all stay tuned, 'cause we just getting started." The live ended. The silence afterward was deafening. But little did they know, that was only round one, because Chrisean Rock was about to go live herself. And she wasn't about to let anyone else control her narrative. What came next made the first explosion look like a spark, because when Chrisean snapped back, the entire internet went up in flames. When Chrisean Rock hit Go Live, the entire internet collectively lost its mind. You could almost hear phones buzzing like emergency alarms. Within 60 seconds, her viewer count shot past 100,000. Within 2 minutes, every gossip blog was tuned in. Her face appeared on screen, furious, fierce, and fueled by adrenaline. "So that's what we on now?" she said, voice trembling between rage and disbelief. "Lemmy and Bino want to play with me for clout? Bet." And just like that, it was on. The comments were going crazy. She logged in. "Oh, this about to get ugly. Someone call Blueface." The energy was pure chaos. You could tell Chrisean wasn't reading a script. She was venting like a volcano that had been waiting months to erupt. "First off," she began, "I don't need none of them. Zeus needed me. They begged me to be on that show. Lemmy was calling me like he my boss. Please." Her voice cracked with emotion, but the internet wasn't listening for logic. They were listening for explosions. Meanwhile, on Lemmy's side, the original live was still being replayed everywhere. Split-screen edits were flooding TikTok within minutes. One side showed Lemmy's smug smile. The other showed Chrisean pacing her living room, yelling into her phone like she was on trial in front of the entire world. It wasn't just a feud anymore. It was a cultural event. People were live reacting, doing commentary, even dressing up as each side for clout. It was like watching Love and Hip Hop Apocalypse Edition. "Lemmy line on my name," Chrisean said, waving her phone in the air. "You want to talk about I'm difficult? Nah, I'm real. They can't handle real." She sniffled, wiped her face, and glared into the camera. "And Bino, don't make me pull up them messages. Don't act brand new. You was cool till you started acting like a groupie." The chat nearly combusted. Nah, she calling him out. Not her saying groupie. It was pandemonium. Chrisean scrolled up, read one of the hateful comments out loud, and shot back, "Y'all believe anything y'all see online? He cut them clips to make me look crazy. But y'all ain't see what they did to me behind the scenes. Lemmy manipulative. He only care about views. Y'all think that man got morals? He got contracts and cash. That was all the internet needed." Within seconds, word Lemmy exposed was trending. "Chrisean fighting back," fans tweeted. "She got receipts too." Even rival influencers jumped in. One YouTuber captioned their post, This drama feeding me better than dinner. The digital wildfire was unstoppable. Then, out of nowhere, Lemmy posted a story. Just one line, ain't nobody dragging nobody. Just facts. Cold, corporate, calculated. Within minutes, the post was everywhere. Screenshots of it appeared in Chrisean's comments like ghost messages haunting her live. He said it's just facts. One viewer wrote, "Girl, he calling you heated. That's not good for PR, but Chrisean wasn't backing down." She took a deep breath and said, "Y'all keep playing with me like I ain't the one who made Zeus pop. I was the reason y'all tuned in. Bino was just background music." The shade was lethal. Twitter turned her line into a quote card meme within 5 minutes. Bino was background music was suddenly a trending phrase, printed across screenshots, captions, and even t-shirts by fan pages. Bino, of course, saw it. Because 2 minutes later, he went live on his own page. Again, calm, smirking, sipping something cold. "Background music?" he said, laughing. "That's funny, cause last time I checked, ain't nobody tuning in for somebody who can't even finish a song without crying on live." Boom. The internet exploded. Again. 2 simultaneous live streams, both throwing shade like grenades across the Wi-Fi battlefield. It was modern warfare, influencer edition. Fans were screen recording every second like historians. Some played both streams at once, switching between the two like a chaotic news anchor. On the left, Chrisean blames Zeus for exploitation. On the right, Bino calls her a walking PR disaster. You couldn't even scroll 5 seconds without stumbling upon another viral reaction. Memes flooded timelines like digital confetti. But it got darker. Lemmy, ever the strategist, reappeared on his own account. This time, calm and calculated as always. "I don't hate Chrisean," he said smoothly. "I just think accountability is something we all need to learn." The tone, polished. The subtext, brutal. You can't break things, disrespect people, and then cry victim. That's not strength. That's chaos disguised as confidence. The internet froze. That was the moment Lemmy's words hit harder than any insult. Even fans who'd been on Chrisean's side hesitated. "Wait, he kinda right," some whispered. "She do be wildin' sometimes." Others snapped back, "Nah, he trying to gaslight the world." It was the classic internet split. Chaos, confusion, and conspiracy theories all coexisting in the same thread. Then, in the most shocking twist of all, Lemmy and Bino joined forces again, this time on a joint live that nobody saw coming. The title, "Since She Wanna Keep Talking." In less than 5 minutes, the view count skyrocketed. The comments went berserk. They tag-teaming her again. "Oh, she gonna lose it." Lemmy started off slow, his voice low but deliberate. "I tried to keep it classy. But since lies keep spreading, let's address the truth." Then Bino jumped in like a backup dancer in a diss track. "Ain't no lies over here. We just got tired of people acting like victims when they the villains." That was it. The knockout punch. The internet went nuclear. People clipped, posted, reacted, cried, screamed, debated. "This is too much," one viewer wrote. "I got work in the morning, but I can't log off." And right there, mid-broadcast, Chrisean popped back into the comments again. All caps this time. "Y'all both lame. Stop using my name for clout." Lemmy smiled, almost proud. "Using your name? You trending because of us," he said smoothly. "You're welcome." The audience collectively gasped. Bino leaned forward and added, "You say we need you? Funny, we ain't seen you on a Zeus check since February." The crowd exploded in laughing emojis. He said no check since February. Bino too petty for his own good. It was the perfect mix of drama, shade, and ego, the holy trinity of viral entertainment. By the end of the night, every app looked the same. Clips, hashtags, and chaos. TikTok edits labeled Lemmy and Bino versus Chrisean, the saga continues. Twitter threads reading like academic essays dissecting who was right. YouTubers were already uploading breakdowns with titles like "The Day Chrisean Rock Got Humbled." It wasn't just a feud, it was a moment. The kind of once-in-a-year internet implosion where everyone had an opinion and nobody had peace. Lemmy and Bino had done the unthinkable. They'd turned a single live into a cultural wildfire, and the flames weren't dying anytime soon. But what nobody realized yet was that while Lemmy and Bino were winning the comment section, Chrisean was about to flip the narrative. Because when the world calls her crazy, she doesn't back down. She rebrands the chaos and sells it back louder. And by the next sunrise, she was about to prove that even humiliation can be monetized. By the next morning, the internet wasn't just talking about the feud, it was living in it. Every feed, every thread, every comment section had become a front row seat to the Chrisean rock meltdown saga. You couldn't scroll 5 posts without seeing a clip, a meme, or a fake insider update. It was like watching the aftermath of a digital explosion, and everyone wanted to pick through the wreckage. The hashtag ChriseanRockExposed was sitting comfortably at #1 on Twitter, right above Lemmy Bino said what and Lemmy vs Chrisean. The memes were ruthless. One showed Chrisean holding a microphone with the caption, "The only thing she won tonight was the Wi-Fi battle." Another had Lemmy photoshopped into a WWE ring, pinning her down with the title belt reading CEO of Chaos. Even Bino got his own collection of memes, mostly him sipping drinks or laughing in the background, captioned, "When you drag someone so hard, you go viral by accident." But beneath all the jokes, the internet was split right down the middle. One side called it a corporate ambush, a CEO and a rapper double-teaming a woman who was already emotionally drained. The other side called it accountability, karma catching up to the self-proclaimed queen of mess. And somewhere between those two extremes sat the truth. Nobody was innocent. Chrisean, however, wasn't ready to be anyone's victim. Around noon, she reappeared online, this time calmer, or at least pretending to be. No makeup, no flashy energy, just raw emotion. "Y'all think I care what they say about me?" she started, her voice low and tired. "I've been dragged my whole life. I built my name off surviving people who wanted to break me. Lemmy and Bino, they just next in line." It wasn't the fiery Chrisean fans were used to. It was something different, vulnerable but still defiant. The internet went silent for a second. Her tone was slower, more deliberate, like she'd finally realized the whole world was watching not just to laugh, but to judge. "They can say I'm crazy," she continued. "They can leak clips, they can tell lies, but one thing about me, I don't fold. Y'all love to hate me, but without me, half y'all wouldn't have a job." That line hit like lightning. It was her best weapon, truth mixed with delusion, confidence mixed with pain. Within minutes, the live was clipped, edited, and reposted across social media. "She talking heavy again," someone commented. She went from crying to CEO energy real quick. It was pure Chrisean, messy, magnetic, and made for the internet, but Lemmy wasn't going to let her have the last word. He dropped another post, a picture of him in a suit with the caption, "Some people love the drama more than their destiny." No tags, no hashtags, just subtle venom disguised as wisdom. The fans caught it instantly. "He talking about her. This man trolling from the corporate office." Lemmy, the calmest villain since Thanos. Even Bino couldn't resist. He posted a photo of himself in the studio with the caption, "Turning chaos into hits." That one line sent Twitter spiraling again. He profiting off the drama, Bino using the feud for promo. And honestly, they weren't wrong. Within 24 hours, his streams doubled. His name, once niche, was now mainstream. Lemmy and Bino had turned a fight into free marketing, while Chrisean was left carrying the emotional baggage. Still, she didn't stop. The next day, she posted a long message, paragraphs of unfiltered thoughts about betrayal, fame, and fake friends. "Everybody love you till you stop being useful," she wrote. "They laugh now, but watch who crying later." Her fans flooded the comments with hearts and prayer hands, but the critics pounced. "Girl, this ain't therapy," one said. "Just log out for a week." But if there's one thing Chrisean doesn't do, it's log out. There's one thing Chrisean doesn't do, it's log out. Her next move was unpredictable even for her. She dropped a new song that night. The title, "Unbothered but Bothered." It wasn't subtle. The lyrics were clearly aimed at Lemmy and Bino. "You smile on live, but I know the truth," she sang. "You build your brand off breaking youth." It was raw, chaotic, offbeat, and immediately viral. Whether it was good or not didn't matter. It was trending, and that's all that counts. The industry reacted fast. Blogs started calling it the messiest diss track since Nicki vs. Cardi. Zeus Network fans flooded the comments, begging Lemmy to respond. "She dropped music before y'all dropped her apology," one joked. But Lemmy stayed silent. The most dangerous move of all. Silence meant control. Silence meant victory. Then, out of nowhere, Bino responded in the pettiest way possible. He uploaded a 30-second freestyle to his Instagram story, rapping over a beat while throwing subliminal jabs. "Don't mention my name, you just chasing a trend. You crash every car, then blame all your friends," the internet screamed. Not him rapping about her. Bino too funny for this. At that point, the feud had gone beyond reality TV. It had turned into an ecosystem, a living, breathing soap opera powered by likes, views, and outrage. Every post was another episode, every caption another cliffhanger. Even casual fans couldn't look away. And then came the grand twist. Zeus Network quietly updated its homepage. At the very top, under Coming Soon, a new promo appeared. The Aftermath Lemmy vs. Chrisean Unfiltered. No one knew if it was real footage or recycled drama, but it didn't matter. The tagline read, "You watched the chaos, now see the consequences." It was official. The feud had been monetized. The internet erupted. Lemmy capitalized on his own drama. This man turned beef into business, Chrisean's downfall about to pay rent. And honestly, that's the brilliance, or the darkness, of modern fame. Every meltdown is marketing. Every feud is free promo. Every apology is a rerun. By the week's end, the numbers were staggering. Lemmy gained 300K new followers. Bino's streams hit a record high. Zeus's subscriptions spiked 22%. And Chrisean, she was still trending, still volatile, still defiant. Because even when she loses, she wins in chaos. The more they drag her, the more people tune in. It's the twisted genius of fame in 2025. Pain equals profit. But make no mistake, this wasn't the end. Lemmy had his victory lap, Bino had his boost. And Chrisean, she was plotting her next move in silence. Because if there's one thing the internet has learned, it's that Chrisean Rock doesn't stay down. She falls, she fights, and she always finds a way to flip the narrative. By Sunday night, she posted one last message. "They embarrassed me on live, but they forgot one thing. I don't embarrass easy." The caption ended with a single word, "Wait." And the internet did. Because when it comes to Chrisean Rock, there's never peace, only the pause before her next explosion. In this new digital world, humiliation doesn't end careers, it launches seasons. And if this feud taught us anything, it's that fame doesn't destroy people. It just shows us who's willing to fight for it the loudest. And just like that, another digital disaster is written into the internet history books. Lemmy came swinging like a CEO with something to prove, Bino delivered his bars with surgical precision, and Chrisean Rock, the undefeated queen of chaos, stood in the flames and turned her humiliation into headlines. This wasn't a live stream. This was a generational event. The Wi-Fi never stood a chance. Lemmy walked away looking like the corporate villain people love to hate, sipping his success like cold champagne on a yacht built from other people's drama. Bino, he became the smooth-talking savage of the season, quiet, petty, and profitable. And Chrisean, she reminded the entire internet that you can't cancel a storm. You can only watch it rain. Every tear, every yell, every viral moment. It just made her stronger. She doesn't break. She rebrands. But now it's your turn. Who do you think really won this showdown? Was Lemmy right for airing it all out? Or did Bino and Zeus go too far trying to control the queen of controversy? And did Chrisean just lose the battle but win the internet war? Drop your wildest takes in the comments. I want to see theories, chaos, and full-on essays. Before you log off, smash that like button like Bino smashing Go Live. Subscribe like Lemmy signing new contracts, and ring that bell harder than Chrisean clapping back at midnight. Because here on Celeb Aura, scandals don't die. They respawn. Stay tuned, because if this was the storm, the next one's already brewing. This is Celeb Aura, where fame burns brighter, lies travel faster, and the truth, it always leaks first.